Tile flooring installations require foam underlay. If you're working on a floor over a crawl space or on a concrete floor, you'll also require a poly-vapor barrier as described earlier. Make sure that you run the foam underlay in the same direction as the laminate panels. Underlay should be butted side by side with no overlap. Tape seams together. Always check panels for defects such as chips and color or sheen differences under good light conditions. Also check that the channel is clean and free of debris. First, you will need to remove the tongue on the long side of the panels that face the wall from the appropriate amount of panels for your first row. This is to ensure that the decorative surface of the laminate is well under the finished trim when installed. Use a utility knife to score through the tongue several times until it easily snaps off. Start in a corner by placing the first panel with its trimmed side facing the wall. Use spacers along each wall to maintain an expansion space of 8 to 12 millimeters between the wall and the flooring. Remember that this product is primarily wood and needs room to expand and contract. At no point should you attach the floor to any surface. Attach the ends of the panels by carefully lining up the edges and using a hammer and tapping block. Continue along the wall until you reach the last full panel, connecting them as you go. To fit the last panel, rotate the panel 180 degrees with the pattern side upward. Place beside row. Mark off the excess and saw off. When using a handsaw, cut on the decorative surface. If you use a jig or circular saw, cut with the decorative side down to avoid chipping. Use a pull bar to tap the last piece into place. Begin the next row with the remaining piece from the previous row to stagger the pattern. Pieces should be to a minimum of 20 centimeters long and joint offset should be at least 40 centimeters. To attach the panels, tilt the panel you are attaching slightly upwards, about 15 to 25 degrees. When lowered, the plank will click into place with light pressure, but make sure gaps are as small as possible. Continue along, locking each piece into place, ensuring a straight, tight fit, beginning with the long side first, and then tapping the short one into place, using a hammer and a tapping block. Door frames and heating vents also require expansion room. First, cut the panel to the correct length. Then place the cut panel next to its actual position and use a ruler to measure the areas to be cut out and mark them. Cut out the marked points, allowing the necessary expansion distance on each side. You can trim door frames by turning a panel upside down and using a handsaw to cut away the necessary height so that panels slide easily under the frame. To fit the last row, lay a panel on top of the previous row. With a tongue to the wall, lay another panel upside down on the one to be measured and use it as a ruler. Don't forget to allow room for spacers. Cut the panels and tap into place using the pull bar.